We've already talked about it so many times. 4 bats. Okay, but there's like something a little bit more interesting going on. Actually, I wanted to check out the Drake feature that he got on the remix, at least, because that kind of ties into it. Now, if you recall, Kanye actually co-signed him, I want to say a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, and he's been going crazy. He only has 3 songs, but somehow still has millions of monthly listeners, and the songs have been crazy. So wait, 4 bats, Drake remix. Let's see how good this song is. And you know what? He's a good artist. Don't get me wrong. I like it. It's just that he definitely got planted. How do you have 3 songs and already going this crazy? So where is it? Is it supposed to drop tonight, or is it just on Spotify, or what's going on here? All right, I can't lie. He's actually so good. It's like R&B kind of. We've been missing a lot of that. There hasn't been like a really big R&B artist since like Chris Brown. I know there's like Party Next Door and whatever, but like a sensation. I feel like Drake is just going to be mid though, because we got to start talking about like, yeah, Drake still gets all the streams and he's killing it that way. But I feel like the quality of his music as of late has just kind of been like, he needs to gracefully just start fading away and putting on other artists that he actually signed, not just hopping on remixes of popular songs. Because at that point, it seems like you are just clout chasing, you know? But also, as I was saying with the Kanye co-signing him, isn't it so weird that Drake is hopping on the remix now? It's almost like a territorial thing. Just something to know. Also, you guys can see where the song is distributed from, huh? It says 4 bats, so technically it's independent, I guess. But, you know, you can put anything in there, even when you're signed. And then OVO Sound. Now, I was hearing something that like maybe he might have signed to Drake to OVO Sound, but at the same time, Drake likes to just drop remixes and songs that he's on under OVO Sound so that he can get like a fatter check and not, because like, what are you going to pay Drake for a feature? 4 bats didn't pay him. Like, you're going to pay him $1 million. These labels aren't paying that out, or like they will, but you know, Drake doesn't need another $1 million. He's a billionaire. So he could be signed there, or it could just be for that song. It'll be interesting though. It's again, especially because Kanye already co-signed him. Hey, I can't lie. Drake went in. Whenever Drake's on R&B though, he kills it. Now, when he gets a little bit too slow, then I just can't keep up, or at least he can't keep up with like my taste. But it's a lethal combination when Drake's on something like this. So maybe I'll have to take back what I said with like the fall off of Drake, but I do think that he's still hopping on just like a popular trend, just like how he did with like Fetty Wap on the 637 or 673, whatever the remix was for that, where Monty was actually supposed to be on it. But yeah, Drake went in. I can't lie. Okay, again, I take back what I said. Drake killed that, and he kind of made it his own song at that point, because he took up so much of the song, like probably half of it, I want to say. 4 bats though, he's got his own signature sound. You can't like really wash him at his own game, because he's got like the little high pitch R&B thing, but then he looks like a demon because he's wearing the ski mask. But I'll give it to him. Normally I'm not into like, you know, industry plants like that. I still think he's an industry plant, because how the hell are you gonna have 3 songs on here? 4 now because of the remix. How the hell are you gonna have 3 songs or 4 songs and have 82 million? I mean, at the same time though, it makes you think, because just because someone's an industry plant doesn't mean they're bad. It's a little bit inauthentic, but at the same time, I saw a tweet today. It said it just means it's good marketing, which is true. However, you don't get like the same fan lore or the fan, you don't get the same cult or the same strength because there was no lead up. It was like this dude just came out of nowhere. And so the harder, or the faster they go up, the harder they fall, or the faster they'll fall off. So I'm not saying that with his sound, I feel like it's a little bit more mainstream and it might stick. But at the same time, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if in like 2 years, there was what Four Bats reminds me of, although I think it's way better music. Do you guys remember Rumor? He did, or RMR, whatever his name is. He did like the Rascal Flatts interpolation or whatever you want to call it. I think it was called Rascal, the song. It was like this demon looking dude coming out of Broward. I actually don't know where he's from exactly, but he did, it was all over Twitter. I think it got taken down because Rascal Flatts actually took it down because he used the same lyrics or the same vocal melodies. Rascal, or I already typed it in. Y'all remember this one? This dude? I'm really trying to justify industry plants because that's basically what these artists are doing anyway, because to go up, you need money. We're in a game where it's pay to play. You need money to promote. You need money to get on TikTok, Twitter, all that, because, you know, people are just hopping on trends. It's not like people are trying to discover music, or these people, like these big TikTokers, aren't just playing songs that they really fuck with. It's like they're posting TikToks to get paid. Same thing with Twitter accounts, same thing with Instagram, or it already has to have buzz, and then that wasn't paid for. That was just like organic. So you low-key got a plant to actually go up. So that's my only like argument against industry plant bad. But at the same time, again, there's no like story behind it. It's just like, where the fuck did this dude come from? Why is the music already so good? Like on the first track, there was no social media prior to Four Bats coming out, or maybe he was under a different name. And yeah, there is like a very vague line of what an industry plant is, because somebody could actually be working for 2-3 years. That's why when people say Rich Amiri is an industry plant, I don't think he is. It's just he already had somewhat of a following on SoundCloud and Instagram. Like he was known in like the underground space in Plug and B, but then he signed to Internet Money, and they're backed by 10K. So they started using money for promotion and TikToks and playlisting and, you know, production, music videos, things like that. So I don't think he's an industry plant like people say he is. They're just playing the game just like every other signed artist is doing. But people get mad. Honestly, I think what it is, people get mad when an artist is signed, because then it's like it's not as organic. It becomes like cornier. But isn't that the end goal for an artist, to make it and then sign and get paid for all of the work they did the last, 5-10 years potentially? But like, people don't want them to go up crazy because they don't want people to, or the fan base to be diluted by mainstream fans who are extra corny. You know what I mean? It is inauthentic, but hey, at a certain point, you got to either pick, like, do I want to appease these fans who are just going to switch up on me regardless in a few years, because the rapper life cycle is like 3 to 5 years, most of the time less, or do I just want to take the bread? I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking the bread, because when you're retired at 65 and you got M's in the bank, you're not going to give a fuck what people think. You're going to be like, I just get to chill on the beach. Everything's paid for. I don't have to work. Or would you rather be like an independent artist dropping till you're like 40 years old, trying to get your streams up? And by the time you're 25, people already start switching up on you, calling you an old head. I know this from experience. You think it's jealousy? Like, yeah, plans can be weird, but half of these folks would love that Four Bats money. Yeah, people are jealous, because most rap fans, or maybe not most, a lot of rap fans are also creators themselves, like artists or producers or whatever. And so when they see other people going up, they get kind of jealous of like, oh yeah, he's planted, they're using money, blah, blah, blah. But in all reality, if someone threw them $1 million check, they're like, hell yeah, fucking plant me. I talk to artists all the time. They're like, yeah, I don't care about being an industry plant. It's literally just something in the underground to talk about so that people can discredit. And I'm not discrediting four bats, but when it's like, when it's too obvious, like, look at this again. When it's too obvious where you hadn't even dropped a song, at least under this specific name, and you only have 3 here, look, that's when it gets bad. Like, do you guys remember Jumex, the dude with the green hair? Just planted him with like weird hair, looked like the exact carbon copy of a SoundCloud rapper. And they just used all those trends with like industry analytics. I feel like it's the combination of being an industry plant and then being corny and manufactured. That's why people don't like it. However, with Four Bats, he's doing a type of music that's not like, if it was a regurgitated like Cardi clone or just SoundCloud rapper, Plug and B, whatever, and they were putting hella money behind it, no one would get behind it. But because it's Four Bats and it's R&B, and like in R&B and more mainstream genres like that, not like grungy SoundCloud shit, I feel like people are more conducive to that type of music to be planted, because those type of fans just like the music. They don't care about like the lore as much. Whereas underground fans, they're like, nah, we need to know like his exact, I don't know, like boxer brief size. Like, what are you wearing? Calvin Klein's? Are you wearing Supreme? Because they're trying to figure out some like small piece of information that they want to copy or like use in their style or whatever. So yeah, it's literally just a combination of it. Everything is pick and choose at this point. Like, do we, like, I'm adding Four Bats songs to my playlist or like just to my daily thing. Like, I fuck with the music, but there's no denying he's a plant. So it's like, you can be a plant, but still fire. But then at the other hand, you're a plant. Nobody fucks with you because your music low-key just manufactured and garbage. Even if he was a plant or not, that's how you guys give him attention better. Yeah, that's another thing. Like the whole Rich Amiri video, like exposing everything. Like at the same time, as much as that's a video trying to discredit him, like it still puts him in the headlines, and it's just making his clout go up even more. And there's more conversation around like, oh, is he actually a plant? There's gonna be some people who are on the other side of the argument saying that he isn't. Juice WRLD was a plant. I mean, again, practically every artist was a plant. I mean, by the definitions that people use, Uzi was a plant. Juice WRLD was a plant. Juice WRLD didn't really get much traction. They just found his music similar to probably Four Bats, but he was under like a anonymous SoundCloud page, or it was just really small. And then they said, yo, the management went up to him, yo, we're gonna wipe your discography clean, and we're gonna put out these songs, or we're gonna put you with these fire producers because we believe in your talent. It's literally the music business to try to plant people. That's what managers do. They're like going out to find low-key SoundCloud artists so that they can put like a couple dollars here, blow them up, then get a huge deal for them, and then get a cut. So industry plant is low-key the business. Music business, the entire music business, low key. But as I was saying, Juice WRLD got, he had a few songs out. They're out on YouTube, I believe, or like some archive pages. But then Bibby and I can't remember the label name, but y'all know it. And then they took him to Lyrical Lemonade, like, yo, we got to drop this song. They promoted it on SoundCloud. All Girls Are the Same. That was on Elevator, I think, when I first discovered it. And then they went to Lyrical Lemonade, did the music video for Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same, and then he just blew the fuck up. So yeah, he was low-key a plant, but he wasn't corny and he was fire, so nobody cared. Same thing with Uzi. Uzi didn't really have too much traction, although he might have been in Philly and was a like local, you know, probably clouded up a little bit. But then he went to Atlanta, signed to DJ Drama and Don Cannon. They did some mixtapes. He got Young Thug on his like first studio project, and on Love Is Rage. I think even Metro Boomin might have been on like one of the first ones. And Don Cannon, who was and DJ Drama, who were already solidified in the music industry, blew him up. So industry plant isn't necessarily bad. And nobody cares about Uzi being an industry plant. It's completely different. Juice had talent and a theme to him. Four Bats Loser had no previous music. He's collabing with Drake. It's so obvious. No, there's definitely a difference, but like, okay, let's go back to Juice WRLD's previous discography. Because I know he had songs out on SoundCloud, but I'm just telling you, like, how else would his management, Four Bats management, that is, discovered him? He probably had some music out somewhere and it was fire to the management. So they're like, yo, we're going to blow you up. Wipe it clean. And so now it just like looks like he had no music out. This happens all the time with signed artists. They wipe the entire discography and potentially re-release these songs so they can market it properly without them already being out. So anyway, if we go to albums or even singles or something, but we go to the very bottom, I don't think that Juice WRLD even had, look, his whole thing is wiped clean too. It's just that also in 2016, plants weren't really a thing because fans weren't, I mean, that was the whole business prior to SoundCloud. That kind of liberated artists and fans to be able to release music at an instant's notice. But before that, like, think about the Beatles, think about like any of the famous rock bands. They just had to play in like venues and then somebody would pick them up, a big manager. Like that was literally all they tried to do, to get picked up by a connected person. So basically they were trying to be planted so that they could get copies of their CDs printed so they could be sent to vinyl stores or whatever, or put on radio or get put on big festivals. That was the whole game. It's just that now, like, yeah, the internet opened up social media so that we could see into the rappers' lives. And so it is still like kind of, I don't know, like taboo for an artist to come out of nowhere. But again, in R&B, I feel like it's more accepted. So anyway, let's go to singles. Let's see if Juice had anything prior to, he had see, his first official single was Lucid Dreams. One is just more obvious. A plant is, I mean, again, at the time, it was kind of obvious. Like Juice just dropped a music video on Lyrical Lemonade, which was huge at the time, still is huge, but like talking about cultural relevance, Lyrical Lemonade could have blew up so many artists, like, you know, Lil Skies, Juice WRLD. I can't even think of the names, but you know what I'm talking about. Like all of them, Lil Xan or whatever. I know Lil Xan kind of had a SoundCloud hit prior, but Lil Pump. And they all got a little bit of traction, but with Juice WRLD specifically, he didn't really have much traction prior. Cardi's a plant, but Juice is not. No. Cardi was doing, like, he was signed to like an independent thing. What was it? It was Awful Records, I want to say, with Father. But that was like an independent label, so they didn't really have much funding to put behind him. They kind of just got him little connections. But then he got with Ian Connor, and they blew up snippets. Nah, he had like songs on SoundCloud and YouTube going up prior to signing to ASAP, and then that just kind of like was the gasoline on the fire. I feel like a plant is when there's no fire at all. Like the label starts the fire and they pour the gasoline on. It's like an explosion. Cardi been with Ian since 2014. Yeah. But I don't think he signed until 2015. Something like that. Maybe 2016. Like he was still doing like, I remember hearing the Magnolia snippet way back before that dropped. And I was like, who the fuck is this? But it was in such low quality. But I liked it. Who you reckon screams biggest industry plant right now, mainstream wise? Four Bats. Four Bats for sure. But I like the music. So, but that's just me. I know a lot of fans care a lot about the lore, and I do too. Like I can't truly buy into Four Bats' career or his artistry because frankly, a lot of the artistry is manufactured by a label and all the promo. But I still do like some of his songs. Some of his 4 tracks out, 3 plus a remix. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean I'm going to follow him on Instagram and like stay tuned into like his Instagram stories of where he's moving, like Cardi or like Uzi or Trippy or Juice or whatever. But I feel like that's more valuable when that's why not being a plant is more valuable, because the slower that you go up in your career, the more valuable it is. the better, because it's stickier for the fans when, you know, your hype goes down a little bit. Whereas if you're planted, the next plant is just going to take your plant clout, your chlorophyll, in like the next year or two. But again, I think that Four Bats is in a specific genre, R&B, where like they don't care and it sticks more. And there aren't really many artists in that lane. So it's not like if you're a SoundCloud one, there's going to be a new SoundCloud rapper like every freaking 3 weeks, like Osama Sun, Netspend, Laser Dim. Like it's like a huge cycle of just, you know, artist after artist. But a lot of these artists are signed too. Like, how do you think Netspend is getting, you know, linking up with, who was it? Like Chief Keef. He's with John Ross, and then he's with Joy Division. How do you think but I feel like that Twitter video of him just being like a little white kid, I don't think he's a plant though, because of he got the traction by himself firstly. So he just signed an OVO for an EP. I don't even know if it's an EP. It might just be a single, or he might have actually signed to Drake like completely. But at the same time, since it says Four Bats, maybe it's just like a co-distro deal or something. I don't even know if that's a thing. But because Drake's on it, they're going to put more money behind it, like his label. Because I could imagine that if you get a Drake remix, Drake is going to take like 80% of that song, or a large portion of it. So that's why he's going to put it under his label, and he's going to give you his resources. And honestly, with Four Bats, think about the doors that are going to open now.
So he just signed to OVO for an EP?
Because he got a Drake feature, and now everyone who hadn't heard the song originally is going, like the girls in the club or whatever, then hear Drake on it and be like, oh my God, this is the next My Way. Drake don't need that money. What a scam. I mean, who really, technically you don't need more than like 60K to survive. It's just to get more money to, also, I don't even know if this is a money play for Drake. It's really a clout move, and a clout move in the sense that it's for his legacy. It's how he continues his legacy, his power in the industry. He's always going to be on like the biggest song. He did it with Tuesday. He did it for I Love McConan. He did it with Fetty Wap. He did it with countless. Like, just go through Drake remixes on YouTube and you'll see that he just hops on it, and it's mutually beneficial. But, you know, I feel like there needs to be a time where Drake just hangs it up. But yeah, if he signs OVO, I don't know if that's a good move, because I don't know if there's any like really, really successful OVO artists like Party Next Door, or he's good, but he's not like, you know, most people don't actually know who he is. Or like Smiley. There's so many of them, bro, that just fell off. Like Block Boy JB, I don't even think he actually signed. He just did a similar deal. Like, let's look at this. Who did Block Boy JB sign to? This will answer our question. Because for his latest, he might be independent low key. Block Nation. Yeah, it looks like it's his own label. But Look Alive, OVO Sound. See, so Drake just signs people for like, you know, a song or something, or just releases the song under his label so that he can actually benefit from it. Otherwise, a label's not going to be able to afford him, especially for a small artist like Four Bats. He's not small, but like he's a new artist, let's say. He's the real vamp, bro. Yes, Drake is the real vamp. He's sucking people dry for their clout so that he can maintain his top spot in the industry. It's not mutual, Bob. Drake steals all their clout. I mean, think about it. There's always going to be a give and take. Drake stealing his clout, yes, by hopping on the remix. But at the same time, Four Bats gets like another platform. He gets like free promo, essentially, to a larger audience. Drake, who is like the top streaming rapper or potentially artist, maybe other than like Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, The Weeknd or something. So he's definitely, it is mutually beneficial. Now, does Drake benefit more? Potentially. I still think Four Bats gets benefited more just because it gives them the bigger platform, even though the song was already going crazy by itself. Drake kills the game while Ye is pushing it forward and making it thrive. I mean, what would you say about like Kanye and Cardi though? Like Kanye is a big artist, just like Drake. I just think it's like perception though. Kanye gets a bunch of features for his songs. He doesn't necessarily need the clout, just like Drake doesn't. Like the songs would be perform well regardless of the feature. But now because of Cardi, Rich the Kid, mostly Cardi, and Kanye, like the deadly combo, that song Carnival and Fuck Some with Travis Scott are all like, you know, top 10, or I don't know where Fuck Some is, but Carnival's top 3, top 5. So why do people not see that as draining clout? Even though I know Kanye's the bigger artist, but it's like literally the same situation as Drake and Four Bats. But I feel like Drake does it all the time. But he's hopping on a remix instead of putting, you know what? It's different because Kanye is getting the features and putting them on his platform, on his album. So he's helping them more than Drake just hopping on the trend of a popular song. Yeah, because he's doing less work. The song was already good. Kanye was actually collaborating with the creative process. So yeah, I'll take that. I'll agree with your take for sure. He did In Denial. Yeah, he did that Yeet feature too, and that was already like a leak. Man, he's just, I don't know if Kanye should have dropped the Vulture album. Drake is the real Vulture. No, but I fuck with Drake. He's one of my all-time artists. He just got hits on hits on hits. He just be speaking to me, man. Like the emotions and everything. Kanye's hard too, though. With my taste in music and like my past, Drake albums have always been like, you know, my preference. By the way, we were talking about Four Bats signing to Drake, potentially, with his remix. But we weren't sure if it was just that song or if he actually signed fully. So I think there was an article that just came out. I just got sent it. So Four Bats signs OVO. This will finally, here. Four Bats signs deal with Drake's OVO label after bidding war. Let's see how much he signed for. It better be it better be 7 figs. 7. A rep for Drake and OVO declined to comment. Multiple labels have been wooing Four Bats since his track Act Whatever took off during Christmas week. Debuted on the Hot 100 at number 77. The first song, bro. That's crazy. Or that's Act 2. So a second song. It rose to 59. The track was made for the females. R&B. See, girls don't really care about the fan lore as much. So that's why I was talking about, like, does that fan base really care if he's an industry plant? I mean, that's practically all girls listen to, let's be honest. Just industry plant after industry plant. Like TikTok song after TikTok song. I'm trying to see if there's anything that really shows that he actually signed to OVO or if this is just hearsay. But I don't know if Billboard would produce something without really knowing, but they said that they declined to comment. So he released a remix of the single featuring Drake on Friday that is certain to bring the song additional attention. While Four Bats lawyer Matt Buser declined to answer questions about the singer's deal, he said in a statement that the singer made a calculated decision to creatively collaborate with one of the most iconic artists ever. Okay, but does that mean he signed? We are grateful for their involvement and are excited to see what the future holds as a result of the epic creative and business move. See, I still don't know if this is an actual signing where he's under the label entirely. It looks like he distributed through them. Just like how if you go to Bad Bunny, right? Bad Bunny is, I know Birdman said it, but Bad Bunny is not technically signed to Drake. However, he has a Drake feature where I believe that song was also distributed by Drake's OVO sound, because that's just how Drake moves. When he hops on a song, it's going to be his. Gently. But that's not the right song. Is it Mia? Mia. Go to show credits. Source: OVO Sound, Cobalt Music Publishing. So his label's always going to be credited because you can't buy a Drake feature. Now let's go to Yeet. I don't give a fuck. I want to see if this is distributed by Drake's thing. OVO Republic. Wait, that was on Drake's album, right? Or no? I don't give a fuck. That was on Drake's album. Okay, I'm tripping. What was the song that was on Yeet's album though? What was it called? It was on P2. Drake, As We Speak. Okay, this is the truth. The moment of truth. So that was fully Yeet's song. Drake just hopped on it because maybe it was a feature swap, if you recall. Because Yeet hopped on I Don't Give a Fuck for Drake's album, For All the Dogs, and that song blew up. So it's like, come on, bro, give me a song where you don't take any percentage of it, because Drake was probably keeping all of it.